It's quite amazing. So they went a bit cautious. They weren't quite sure about this, but they were greeted very compassionately and immediately given a cup of tea. So they felt right at home. The trainer issued a command. They brought this little dog. It was just a little dog. They brought the dog in and issued command, fetch the Bible. The dog ran off, got the Bible, brought it to them, and dropped it at his feet. And then he said, Psalm 23. The little dog bowed his head and with his paw opened the Bible and opened it to Psalm 23. Absolute miracle. Brilliant. Beautiful. They bought the dog immediately, took him home, anxious to show off their new pet. They had a dinner party, and at a quiet moment, he commanded the dog to fetch the Bible. Off he went, tail wagging, very excited, grabbed the Bible, brought it back, Psalm 23, bum, 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 opened it right at the spot. They were fascinated by this whole thing. They were all amazed. But then the new owner wondered, what about normal doggy tricks? So he commanded the command to heel. The dog jumped up on the armrest of the chair. He bowed his little head and put his paw on the man's forehead. And he was healed, of course. Before I continue, I just want to invite my sister up. If you would like to come up, Julie. You know, it's amazing what God did in my sister. And quite frankly, I think we're both very grateful that we're here. And I'll let Julie just elaborate on that a little bit.
Thanks, Nige. I call him Nige, but it's Nigel to most of us. Nigel. They can't say Nigel in America, can they? They call you Nigel. Nigel. So rather Nigel. Thanks for just letting me say. There's such a sort of pre-bit to the whole reason that Nigel's here, really, because when I was very seriously ill with a neurological illness in the National Hospital and really not expected to make it through, Nigel came from America to say goodbye. And he told me later, he just recently put his dog down before he came over, and he was really, really upset about his lovely dog being put to sleep. And when he saw me in this terrible state in my hospital bed in intensive care, he was so overwhelmed with sort of, I don't know what it was, compassion and sadness, I suppose, that everything in him, all his Royal Marine training in him, was telling him to put a pillow over my head and put me out of my misery, like he'd had to do for his dog a few days earlier. Well, I'm delighted to say he didn't carry it through. But, isn't this the most amazing thing, how God redeems our lives? It was the day after that Karen Jim Glennon came to pray for me and over me, and I received this incredible healing. And it's 20 years next month in June that happened. And here we are, God has transformed Nigel's life. He's taken hands that were trained to kill people to be used to pray for healing. And if he wasn't my brother, I don't think I'd believe some of the stories that he phones up and tells me every single week. I just don't think I could believe them. Even as a believing Christian, they are so amazing. And I just want to encourage you to have real faith for what might happen tonight, because I'm speechless when I hear some of these tales, and I just want to encourage you that I really was dying in my hospital bed. He came, he was going to put a pillow over my head, and here we are now. So we thank God. Amen.
I've just come back from Lufkin, Texas. They speak funny there. And they can't say Nigel there either. They called me Nigel. And I'd say, listen, it's 2 syllables, it's Nigel. And they said, okay, Nigel, And then I went to the church service to deliver the message, and they kept saying, Jesus. Jesus, there. 3 syllables. So I thought, Nigel, Jesus, whatever, It was wonderful. And recently we just had a healing service in Connecticut where 200 people showed up at this healing service in a Methodist church. There were lots of Roman Catholics, a lot of faithful people. The place was full like it is now. God, likes a full church. He likes that. There's something about the healing ministry that is powerful and beautiful. He loves it when people come with great expectation. Well, this woman brought a baby with her. She came forward and she was carrying a baby, 2 years old, and she said, this is baby Nolan. And this was 6 weeks ago. She said that her son had never moved his legs. He was born with cerebral palsy and never moved his legs at all.